Today, ladies and gentlemen, we will be ranking our favourite Disney Channel love triangles. We will not be ranking them by messiness, we will not be ranking them by who was right or wrong. We will be ranking them on the impact they left on pop culture at the time and today. Because here's the truth, some love triangles were huge in the moment and then they disappeared completely. Others launched careers, defined entire eras, and created music that still shapes how we think about pop stars today. And for my mostly millennial and Gen Z audience, yes, we will be entering the scary world that is Gen Alpha because we have a present day Miley vs Selena happening right now, and although it's early days, it's good to compare to see if we really were the golden generation we think we were. By the end of this video, I will give you my final ranking on the least impactful Disney Channel triangle to the one that left a cultural footprint on generations to come. And trust me, the answer isn't as obvious as you think it is. So ladies and gentlemen, let's start at the beginning, shall we? Before the early 2000s, Disney wasn't really known for making teen stars. They were known for the princesses, animation, big theatrical movie. But by the late 90s and early 2000s, when I say everything changed. Now let's go back to 2001 specifically.
Hey, I'm Hilary Duff from Lizzie McGuire, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Hilary Duff doesn't just become popular, she becomes the face of children after school television. Anywhere Disney Channel was distributed, Hilary Duff was suddenly known. This is the first time Disney truly cracked their nobody to teen pop star pipeline. Find a young, fresh face who fits middle America's idea of relatability and beauty, and then greenlight a show around them, give them a movie, push music through soundtracks, guest star them everywhere, and then sign them to a record deal. Suddenly, you don't just have an actress, you have a multi-hyphenate teen star. Lunchboxes, magazines, concert tickets. This became the template for the Disney Channel superstar pipeline system. The key thing to remember here is this was before social media, so there was a very big gap between fans and stars. The only time you saw someone famous is when they were on your TV screen, in a magazine, or on some type of merch. This is all important context because prior to Hilary Duff, Disney Channel stars really stayed in the Disney Channel bubble. Hilary Duff was the first star to pierce through the Disney Channel bubble and be able to stand toe-to-toe with the adult celebrity. She was out-charting adult artists and generating more income and visibility than many Hollywood stars at the time. I would argue she was the one who created the prototype that was later followed by Miley, Selena, Olivia, Sabrina, and Kylie.
Hilary, I wish you could see Miley's face right now. Her mouth is just open.
Oh, well, we met not too long ago, and I had such a good time, and you're so talented and so sweet, and I wanted to
While Hilary was taking over Disney Channel, another Disney darling already existed, the iconic Lindsey Lohan. Lindsey wasn't birthed by Disney Channel, she was born in Disney movies. By the time she was a teenager, she already had one of the biggest Disney films ever, the 1998 version of The Parent Trap.
They're both unique in the same way.
That's my mom.
Movie alone made her feel arguably bigger than the system. Guys, comment below quickly if growing up you saw Lindsey Lohan as a Disney star or like a movie star. I feel like because she was introduced to us via big screen, not me, I was like, again, poo-pooing in my pants, but I first saw her on DVD covers. I associated her with a movie star versus a Disney star. However, she was 100% still in that Disney pipeline. And she stars in another successful remake, the iconic, like, I know I keep saying iconic, but like there really is no other word. The iconic Freaky Friday. And again, I don't want to get copyrighted, but you guys know the song that I'm playing in my head because it just never gets old. Again, a box office hit, earning 160 million against a 26 million budget. By 2004, she's already added Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen to her list, which is very important to this plotline and the love triangle itself, so we'll be coming back to it. In 2005, she also stars in My Scene Goes to Hollywood, the movie, Barbie Mattel's entrance into the world of animated movies in an attempt to crush their competitor, Bratz. I have a video on all this style drama called Why My Scene Could Never Be Bratz, so feel free to give that a look because honestly, the fact that my girl did Freaky Friday, Mean Girls, and My Scene Hollywood, she's a go. Like she's one of the greatest of all time, seriously. So now we have two girls, Hilary, the Disney Channel star, and Lindsey Lohan, the Disney movie phenomenon. Both young, both successful, and both killing it. But both also reaching a moment where they're looking for their next steps. And at that exact moment, here comes Aaron Carter, one of the youngest people ever to debut in the top 20. And suddenly, Disney Channel has its first love triangle. Aaron Carter was not just some Disney boy. He was a child pop star with real, measurable, and more importantly, mainstream success. At 13 years old, his song I Want Candy peaked at number 4 on Billboard Hot 100. There's 80% chance you would have heard the song before somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere. The fact that he had mainstream success, that mattered a lot in the early 2000s. At the time, charting in the top 30 meant wide public recognition. In the 2000s, if a song pierced even top 30, it was a good chance everyone knew it, as we lived in a monoculture where the radio, TV shows, adverts, everything heavily fed into who and what we listened to. To translate this all in modern terms, Aaron Carter's fame at that very moment was akin to Justin Bieber during the Baby era, or maybe One Direction during the What Makes You Beautiful era. I know that's crazy to sound like because you may have never heard him, but honestly, maybe even bigger, because this was a time where you couldn't stream music. You had to go out of your house, go to a store and buy music. This is even before downloading music. I actually don't know how people do it. So Aaron Carter exists as the perfect counterpart to them. He represents mainstream pop success, teen idol validation, and a bridge between Disney fame and general public recognition.
A fan jumped on the back of the bus and was clanged on it. She was on the back of the bus for 2 hours.
2001, Aaron performs I Want Candy on the Lizzie McGuire show. They share a kiss on the show. Then, in 2003, Hilary, who is 15 now, attends Lizzie McGuire movie premiere with Aaron, who is also 15 by this point.
Yeah, we can't help but asking because I see you guys hugging and being really close. What's up?
You know what, I think that's a question for her.
I already told them it was a question for you.
What?
They are framed as the new teen power couple. At this point, Hilary wasn't producing pop music. Hilary was a TV star, the face of the show, and slowly being positioned as something bigger, but she wasn't a chart force yet. Aaron, on the other hand, already had a top 10 hit, mainstream radio play, and recognition outside the Disney ecosystem. Parents knew his name, teen magazines covered him, and he wasn't dependent on the Disney Channel to exist. That different matters. Because while Hilary had constant visibility in weekly episode, promos, reruns, Aaron's success worked differently. Music hits peak and then they fade. So Aaron needed repetition, and Disney Channel was the perfect solution. So you have two rising forces. Hilary was widely expected to land Disney's next big theatrical role, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. It was a Disney movie, it would have followed the Lizzie McGuire movie, and on paper it made complete sense. But the role goes to Lindsey instead. No public drama, just a subtle shift in power in terms of a clear tension point between the two it girls, because now they were going for the same roles. Ooh. So when Lindsey enters the picture, all implodes. Because Aaron Carter didn't just break up with Hilary Duff, no. Unfortunately, there was an overlap. By 2003, Aaron and Hilary are publicly together. Premieres, red carpets, teen magazines. They're positioned as a Disney-era power couple, but at the same time, Lindsey Lohan is rising. This is when Aaron switches. Aaron breaks things off with Hilary and then starts dating Lindsey Lohan, and then not long after ends things with Lindsey and goes back to Hilary. So you basically have Hilary, Lindsey, Hilary.
I mean, if you're like Lindsey Lohan or me, and he's probably dating both of us, you know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
And suddenly, Disney Channel has its first love triangle. One thing to remember, this is pre-social media. There's no Instagram and there's no Twitter. And the premieres is where things got icy. In 2003, Hilary attends the Freaky Friday premiere.
He made me force me. He's like, no,
Did you intentionally crash the Freaky Friday premiere?
Oh my God.
The lore around this, Hilary.
I think absolutely yes. Yeah, I was a teenager.
That same year, Lindsey attends the Cheaper by the Dozen premiere.
Wait, were you surprised when Lindsey Lohan showed up to the Cheaper by the Dozen premiere?
No. I mean, that was my childhood feud, like nemesis.
So crazy.
I know.
Reports emerge of tension at after parties, alleged confrontations involving Hilary mothers, and attempts to have Lindsey removed from the event. At this point, Chad Michael Murray goes on a late night talk show, and being that he's worked with both girls, he later confirms the feud in interviews.
But you caused a huge controversy at the Freaky Friday movie that you're in premiere, and you were in this movie with Lindsey Lohan. At the time, Lindsey Lohan having a feud with Hilary Duff, you bring Hilary Duff as your date to the premiere. Pandemonium breaks out. It was like a riot at the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Things went crazy.
I'm not up to date.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
You knew? Didn't you know? I'm 58 years old, and I knew that you can't bring Hilary Duff to a Lindsey Lohan premiere.
Lindsey herself also references the feud publicly during her SNL monologue.
Target for fellow Teen Titan Lindsey Lohan. Now the girls dish on the feud.
When I heard that Lindsey was going to be on Saturday Night Live, I knew she was going to make fun of me.
You might also know me from the pages of Us Weekly as the girl who's always fighting with Hilary Duff.
I wasn't honored. I don't think it's an honor to be made fun of on Saturday Night Live.
Our whole feud is so yesterday. So yesterday.
We didn't do anything derogatory towards her.
I'm not here to talk bad about her like she talks bad about me all the time. And I just knew that it was going to happen.
I'm sorry if she felt offended, but I thought things were cool. So, Hilary, I don't want to start anything again.
Hopefully now it's done.
At that point, this stops being speculation. The feud is real. But here's the key thing. Neither of the girls' careers actually changed from this love triangle. Hilary continues to dominate Disney Channel and Lindsey continues booking major films. The love triangle generates headlines, but it doesn't change the trajectories of either girls' careers. Which is why, looking back, this love triangle can be ranked as iconic due to the ladies themselves, but minus points for the fact that it was contained, very much contained in the Disney Channel or Disney World ecosystem. And the distinction generally does matter, because when we start comparing it to the mess that what comes next, we see the true heights and ceilings that can be reached via a classic Disney Channel love triangle. For the most part, the public took Hilary's side, because the narrative was Aaron cheated, Hilary was wrong, and Hilary was a Disney Channel darling. She had closer ties to children programming and a more wholesome image. What's interesting is that once Lindsey and Hilary both started aging, the triangle completely fell into oblivion. It's rarely mentioned again, and it doesn't really follow them through their adult careers. And Aaron, who once sat at the centre of it all, slowly fades from the public narrative, which tells you something important. The triangle mattered in the moment, but it didn't shape anything. It didn't define their legacies. But the triangle did add something to real culture, not because it changed careers, but because it taught Disney. It taught Disney how powerful teenage storytelling could be when the fame and fantasy and the real emotion collide. And once Disney start learning that lesson, they never stop using it. In fact, they amplify it.
What's up? Hello to everyone out there. How you doing?
Hey guys, so let's start the party.
And all night, we'll be announcing the winning shows and stars you voted for as the best of 2009.
Now, if Generation 1 was Disney learning about how powerful love triangles could be, Generation 2 was Disney learning, keeping up, and amplifying. The next love triangle sits very closely with my heart because this is just Gen Z dream.
Hey, I'm Selena Gomez from Disney Channel's Wizards of Waverly Place.
I almost passed out.
It's the girl who... She has the name, this is the New Jersey, Nebraska, Arizona.
Once again, we have two of the biggest stars Disney has ever produced at the exact same time. Selena was being groomed to follow suit in Miley's success via the Disney Channel funnel that was made and established by Miss Hilary Duff. This triangle felt bigger because it was happening as Disney Channel itself was peaking. Unlike Generation 1, this love triangle did not stay contained within the Disney ecosystem. Filled into songs, award shows, YouTube, tour moments, pop culture history. Now, if you wasn't there, I don't know how to explain how big Hannah Montana was. He was under the age of 15, like... It was Hannah Montana's world and he was just in it, really and truly.
The one, the only, Hannah Montana! Woo!
By 2006 to 7, Hannah Montana isn't just a TV show, it's a franchise. Hannah Montana's soundtrack sold 20+ million copies worldwide. Multiple albums debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, and the show's hits charted alongside adult pop artists, not just kids' music. And this really, for me, was the biggest difference between Generation 2 and Generation 1. Hilary did all of these things, but definitely at a smaller scale. Hilary absolutely laid the foundation for a Miley to do what she did because Disney knew what they were doing with her right off the bat. And crucially, Miley's music isn't confined to Disney. Other Disney stars have charted on Billboard Hot 100, but not at the scale that Disney was seeing with Miley, that we were all seeing with Miley.
Sweet 16, and Disneyland is throwing her a big birthday bash.
In fact, they closed down the entire Disneyland Park tonight to the public so they could hold this event, and the attendees paid $250 a ticket to be part of this. You only turn 16 once, so why not do it in style?
Happy birthday, dear Miley!
Dear Miley.
This is definitely the biggest birthday party I've ever been to.
Me too.
Yeah, I wish mine would have been like this, but leave it to Miley to do bigger and better.
Miley Cyrus is no longer a Disney star. She was a full-fledged phenomenon. And this is important because the love triangle we're about to see with Generation 2 wasn't just a Disney love triangle, it was a teen pop love triangle. Now here's where Mr. Nick Jonas enters the story.
And so I have people that are closer to my age and get me a little more.
It's going really good. It's like one big family out on the road, and we're just having a good time.
In the eye, tell me that you love me. Seriously, that's a hymn. Miley meets Nick on June 11th, 2006 at the Times for Heroes charity event. According to Miley, the first thing she ever said to him was, "I don't do handshakes, I do hugs." Just weeks later, June 26, 2006, Nick visits Miley again, and she later visits the set of The Year 3000. 'cause I've been to the year 3000 law. If you're UK, you know that. At this point, the Jonas Brothers are not massive yet. They had been signed to Sony, released an album, and then been dropped. They are talented, but they don't yet have the platform. And this is where Disney steps in. The Jonas Brothers signed to Hollywood Records, Disney's in-house label, and they are folded into Miley's ecosystem. Disney uses its biggest star to launch their next big star.
Dudes, it's Hannah Montana.
We're such big fans.
We love your music. You're pretty.
On August 18th, 2007, me and Mr. Jonas and Mr. Jonas and Mr. Jonas, an episode from season 2 of Hannah Montana, premieres.
Oh, the cute funny one. You're Nick, the cute sensitive one.
And I'm her daddy, the cute protective one.
From here, Hollywood Records give Jonas Brothers a full album rollout. Additionally, on top of that, they are on heavy rotation on Radio Disney. So, once Miley and Nick start dating, they're not just a Disney Channel couple, they are the Disney Channel couple. Miley confirms in her book, Miles to Go, that a lot of her songs on Meet Miley Cyrus were about Nick. And it's also speculated that the Jonas Brothers song Love Bug is also about Miley. So while our new Disney Channel it couple are reaching new heights of highs in their own personal careers, Disney is already cooking their next big star. In comes Miss Selena Marie Gomez. Selena Gomez's entry into Disney Channel was actually very different to Miley's, because before Wizards of Waverly Place, Disney actually tries and fails a few times with Selena.
Selena, I am 11 years old.
Selena was planned to be in a Lizzie McGuire spin-off where she was set to play Miranda's younger cousin. This eventually did not get picked up. After this, she was going to take the supporting role in a new pilot called Arwen, a spin-off centered around the electrician from the hit Disney Channel show The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Ready any faster? No, she wants to look good in case she runs into Luke on the way to school. She's in love.
At least it's with a boy and not a vacuum cleaner. I wouldn't miss it.
No parties. Says so right here. I'm her babysitter.
Uncle Arwen.
And that's important because instead of Disney dropping her, they just kept trying again. They were determined to make her the next Disney star.
Come on, we've had some pretty good times. You mean yesterday? Exactly. Glad you understand.
And it's important to note that Selena was actually auditioning for pilots at the same time as Miley, but the difference is Miley's just got picked up first. So when Disney finally greenlights one of her pilots, Wizards of Waverly Place, Selena is ready. Disney already know what to do via Miley. Thus, Disney has learned exactly how to position her. Crucially, this is happening while Miley is still at her peak, which means Selena isn't introduced as a replacement. She's introduced as just another one, another teen stars for your kids to fall in love with. Because by the time Selena enters Miley's orbit, Miley's already a global phenomenon. Selena's being carefully installed as the next one, and Nick sits right in between the both of them. Disney has now created two female stars with overlapping audiences. Do I think Disney wanted this rivalry to happen? Well...
Has been, never was, bottle blonde, lip syncer, bra stuffer. I hate you, like I care.
We're back in 3, 2...
That Hannah Montana guest role was just a little bit interesting. I definitely think Disney knew there would be some natural competition, being that they were pushing both of these girls to be the faces of Disney. I definitely think because Miley was starring in a role that had music more incorporated and Selena's role didn't really have anything to do with music, I think that was a really good distinction. Comment in the comment sections if you agree. I do think the fact that Selena is Latin and she could appeal to like the Latin American market and a lot of the girls with darker hair. I was watching an interview of like the Disney casting director, and she casted on all the big 2000 shows, and she said a big thing for her is finding people that a lot of young people around the world can identify with. So they kind of always wanted to go for a girl that a lot of global countries could see themselves with, which makes sense because if you think of like the lineage of Disney stars, they were all brunette, and I really feel like that was almost done on purpose so that more girls could see themselves reflected in the girls on TV. Obviously that kind of explains why certain girls were pushed over other girls. Okay, but you know what, it's fine. We got our one black movie every 4 years. It was great, you know. Gosh, is it just those two? What were the black movies of Disney Channel? What was before Jump In? Cheetah Girls. I'm sorry, that low-key Cheetah Girls was like our black movie team. We had 3 movies and they were great. The 3 movies we had were great, okay? Back into the timeline. When Jonas Brothers appeared on Hannah Montana, this episode premiered to 10.7 million US viewers. As a result of them being on this massive platform, they naturally grow in fame very quickly, almost overnight. So what does Nick Jonas do as the man that he is? In December 2007, their relationship comes to an end. The official reason at the time was the Jonas Brothers were going on tour and their careers were accelerating fast. Miley then goes on to write one of the most iconic Miley Cyrus songs, GNO, Girls Night Out. I mean, thank you, Nick Jonas. Again, like the music we got from this time, like thank God for Disney love triangles, really and truly. Now this is important context. When Miley and Nick Jonas break up, this is the same time when Miley Cyrus's emails are leaked and we see racy photos from the now 15 to 14-year-old. I think what's crazy about these times, and to be honest the times that we only just got out of now, is that a 14 to 15-year-old girl's private emails and photos were leaked. And I remember when this happened, no one is going to blame the fact that they were leaked, the fact they were sold to these big tabloids like TMZ. Dead people just pile onto Miley Cyrus, claiming that she's a disgrace, she's a bad idol to young girls. I remember very vividly when this happened to High School Musical star Vanessa Hudgens. I was on my way back from school and I opened the newspaper and there was just like a naked photo of Vanessa Hudgens. Obviously the private parts were blurred, but like there was a 3-page spread on Vanessa Hudgens' private photos, and again she was 15, 16. So the fact that not only was I looking at it as like an 8 to 9-year-old, but like there were grown men on that train, grown men at that train station, grown men around England who were also opening that newspaper and reading that article and looking at these photos. And the fact that that was allowed back then is crazy. Celeb culture at these times was so different, oh my gosh. At the same time as all of this, Miley was also getting pregnancy rumors that apparently she was pregnant either with Nick Jonas's baby or someone else's baby.
Hannah Montana and the outrageous report that she's pregnant. Now she sets the record straight to Inside Edition.
I am not pregnant. I am 14 years old.
Miley dyes her hair black because she says in an interview that Nick Jonas loved her hair lighter, so the minute they broke up she wanted to dye it black as a kind of way to rebel against him. All in all, Miley's definitely seen as like the really popular it girl, but also not the bad girl, but also not the best girl. We loved her. We were like, who cares? But you know, that's how the tabloids and the press were painting her. At this point, the music starts doing the talking. Miley releases 7 things, and this isn't subtle. The lyrics, the tone, even the visuals, including ripping up a photo of Nick Jonas. People say it's one of the first times a Disney star publicly channels heartbreak in such a pointed way. We're not going to rewrite history because our queens, Ali and AJ, again, if you don't know, get to know, because they're a bit millennial on the scale, but they did not have their hit potential breakup song that was directed directly at Joe Jonas for you guys to act like Miley was the first to ever do it, because this is, you know, I'm not gonna get copyright. I don't think copyright would even pick up my shout out to Ali and AJ for the first Disney quote-unquote breakup song. Just 2 days later after 7 Things was released, as in June 17th 2008, 7 Things was released, and June 20th 2008 Burning Up was released. The Jonas Brothers released Burning Up with Selena Gomez cast as Nick's love interest in the music video. Miley then leans into this more because she performed 7 Things, I believe, in Paris, and at the concert she says, "I still hate you." Just to, you know, let everyone know.
It's my newest song. It's called 7 Things. It's for all the girls, I guess guys out there too, that hate their ex-boyfriend.
So at this point, Miley and Nick are broken up and Selena is a clean star on the rise who's now in the Burning Up video, which obviously adds some speculation to the whole thing. Now, this Selena and Nick combo obviously came out as more of a bang because 2 days later after 7 Things is released and Miley's ripping up a photo of Nick, Selena comes on the scene and, oh my gosh, she comes on the scene, Selena in the scene. She comes on the scene and is in a Burning Up video with Nick Jonas playing his love interest. But I could put 2 + 2 = 4 together and be like, okay, clearly Selena's his new girl.
Crazy to know about you and Nick. So what's the real deal?
Things take a turn for the worse. Selena and Demi start posting videos together, casual, chatty, best friend energy, and then almost immediately after, Miley launches the Miley and Mandy show with her tour dancer.
Hey guys, it's Miley.
And Mandy,
who by the way is 21 and has met Nick because she was on tour whilst Jonas Brothers was supporting Hannah Montana. So mind you, we have 2 girls, one is 21, one is 15. I don't know what the 21 was doing with the 15-year-old, but that's fine. They end up making a video that, let's say, mirrors what Selena and Demi were doing in their video.
Yo, yo. Yeah, I said it twice. Got a problem with that? Wow.
Joe. Yo, yo. Yeah, I said it twice. You got a problem with that?
Yeah, I do. You don't know why?
Why?
You got a gap back.
I got this really cool shirt today, and it made me want to give a shout out to my boys.
Who's that? Power Rangers! Ninja Turtles! The mutant kind!
Now, Selena in the press repeatedly denies this feud.
What was your reaction when you saw that video?
My reaction right now. No, you know, it's me and my best friend made those videos for our fans, and I'm letting everybody know right now that it's strictly for our fans. And that video, when it came out, it was nothing. I honestly think that video came out ages ago, and it's so not important to me, and it's not important to her as well. It's something that she did, and we got laughs out of it, and that's that. There's no feud, there's nothing going on.
Again, a very diplomatic and graceful answer. And now, are you and Miley friends?
You know, I mean, we're on an okay level.
I mean, some people got the impression that there was like bad blood between you and
Me and Demi and Selena.
Is there any animosity there, or is it?
I mean, if we offended them, we're super sorry, but you know, we were like just having fun, you know what I mean? They have like a YouTube account, so we, at the end of our video, we did put like, go to their YouTube, you know, so we were just like, we were kind of supporting their channel, but also being silly because they were being funny, you know, and that's our thing, is to be funny. Elvis says imitation is the greatest form of flattery, so we were like imitating them.
But tensions continue to persist. Teen Choice Awards is where it starts feeling openly uncomfortable. Miley performs a song very clearly about Nick, singing 7 Things. At one point, she gets off the stage and hands the phone to Selena Gomez.
You make me love you.
Now, we don't know if she told Selena beforehand, like, hey, the song that I made about your current boyfriend, I'm gonna sing it and I'm gonna get off the stage and have you sing along whilst your current boyfriend's in the crowd. Or she just kind of thought it was gonna be like her moment to, like, I don't know. Anyway, Selena handled it amazingly and almost made it look like it was supposed to be something that they both planned. The pressure finally seems to be catching up. Miley deactivates her Twitter account entirely, and she does this via a YouTube video. Again, it's very 2008.
Deleted my Twitter, can you believe it? I got 2 million, then I say adios. I had to say goodbye. Because my friend told me to. Y'all know very well what you say I don't do, and the reasons are simple. I started tweeting about pimples. I stopped living for moments and started living for people.
The day that video dropped, something shifted in culture. When she does do this YouTube video, she mentions wanting to step away from what she calls the fake beef with Demi. She specifically references Demi and does not reference Selena, the one that people have been more so pitting her against for the past couple years. February 8th, 2009, Miley and Nick reportedly get back together. In March and April 2009, Miley, Demi and Taylor attend the Hannah Montana premiere in the UK and the US. Selena's nowhere to be seen. Summer 2009, Lines, Vines and Trying Time is released, and it's featured Miley Cyrus, confirming Miley and Nick are back together.
And we always said we have, and
is she as famous as his? No, is your girlfriend, Joe? Is your girlfriend?
I don't think anybody's as famous as Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have reconnected with her. For a little while there, we had not been as reconnected as we are now.
In this same month, Princess Protection Program is released on Disney Channel, which pushes Selena and Demi as the best friends that they are. Also, can I say, the Jonas brothers were not a big fan of Miley and Nick being together. They much rather preferred Selena and Nick together, as seen by Kevin's t-shirt, Team Selena. To clarify, at the top of the year, Selena and Nick broke up. Then Miley and Nick get back together. Miley's on his album. Selena's upset. She's not showing up to the premieres. She's just letting Demi and Taylor and Miley do their thing. Miley then goes away and films the last song. Nick and Miley are seen together on a water ski doing kissy kissy. Then, whilst on set with Liam, Miley is seen hanging outside the set kissing Liam. Nick and Miley announced their breakup. By the end of 2009, Selena Gomez and The Scene released the iconic Kiss and Tell album. On that album, she refers to hers, Miley's and Nick's love triangle on her song I Won't Apologize. The one moment that sums up the mess that was this love triangle is the iconic charity single that is Send It On. Because during the filming of Send It On, it was reported that Miley and Selena did not speak to each other once. This is also all alleged. Alleged. Okay, I feel like Wendy Williams. Allegedly, people who were watching closely at the time noticed that they weren't interacting much, and this wasn't the first time fans clocked it, because something similar had already happened earlier with Wizards on Deck with Hannah Montana. Behind the scenes, there were already rumours that Miley and Selena didn't interact off camera, allegedly, with castmates claiming both girls wanted minimal filming time together and did not hang out or speak to one another when cameras went rolling. Years later, our queen, Demetria Lovato, confirms on the James Corden show all of the years and years of speculation that we, the fans, are putting together.
Nick, you're dating seemingly everyone.
Yep. And then who else?
Miley. And then
Miley
back with
Cyrus.
Selena.
Thank you, Demi.
And then back with Miley.
Thank you. Is that what happened? No. Is that how it went
Lies!
down? Tell me the truth,
Liza
Jonas.
Minnelli
Hang
back
on.
there.
Yeah, hang on. So you talk me through it. Gomez, Cyrus,
Well, it was
Gomez.
Cyrus, Gomez, and then I don't know what else happened.
Years later, Demi Lovato went on tour with Nick Jonas, and in that tour there was rumors that Demi and Nick were hooking up, and obviously we were all like, there's no way. Well, there's literally no way. Like, she literally watched two of her closest Disney friends go back and forth with this man. Like, there's no way. Allegedly, Demi goes on the Ellen show, and
I'm told to ask these questions. I don't care. I don't. But supposedly there's a song about Nick Jonas in here, and because you just claim to be so honest, I feel like you should be honest with that answer.
Well, you don't care, so.
I don't care, but they do. I mean,
I don't think they do.
Yes, no, they do. They
No,
really
I don't
do.
think they do. Something that I will always keep to myself is who I write my songs about.
I see. Yeah. Okay. So it's probably about him, and so...
Obviously, us at home are like, she's gonna be like, ew, that's my brother, like, that's disgusting. Instead, Miss Demi Lovato gets like shy and cheeky and is like, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? What do you mean you don't know? So the fact that Nick and Demi ever even had a flirt just seems so incestuous and so silly Billy behavior, and I just can't believe that they did that. Like, allegedly, child. What's interesting about this generation is how different the conflict feels compared to the early 2000s. It isn't press statements and tabloids, it's music, performances, silence, and online moments. Everything feels closer, more intimate, and harder to escape. We were seeing it play out at the Kids' Choice Awards, the Teen Choice Awards, in #1 album and songs. Honorable mention of this love triangle is when Miley had a cardboard cutout on stage of Selena Gomez that a fan gave her.
Yeah, you heard me right. Miley was performing her Bangers concert in Milan when a fan from the audience apparently handed Miley a cardboard cutout of Selena Gomez.
Yeah. With this cardboard cutout, she lets everyone know that there's still beef, which honestly, like, what can I say? My God just doesn't forget when people do her wrong, you know what I mean? Later on in 2020, Miley goes on Selena Gomez's Instagram Live where she talks about her mental health and touches upon her experience of bipolar disorder. Through that, they both bond on mental health awareness. Looking back, what stands out isn't the mess, it's the scale. The triangle produced songs people still quote, performances people still analyze, and a template for how pop culture drama would work going forward. This was a point where Disney drama crossed into teen pop culture mainstream, and once that happened, it never went back. Olivia Rodrigo rose to Disney Channel via Bizarre alongside Jake Paul. I don't even know. Then became a breakout star of High School Musical, the musical, the series. Sabrina Carpenter was already an established Disney actress through Girl Meets World. Joshua Basset co-starred with Olivia on High School Musical, the series. They're close, they spend time together, and Joshua even teaches Olivia how to drive. At this point, Olivia is actually dating someone else, but she, I guess, can't help to fall for the allure that is Joshua Basset. Whilst Olivia was being taught to drive by Joshua, she ended up developing feelings for Joshua. What we do know 100% is that in early 2020, Olivia posts a short song snippet on social media called Crazy. Sabrina Carpenter then comes along and comments, love. So at this point, everything looks friendly. But shortly after that, Sabrina unfollows Olivia. And around the same period, Joshua starts engaging with Sabrina's posts. By May 2020, Joshua and Sabrina are spotted kissing. A month later, they then attend a Black Lives Matter protest together, which people think is them confirming their relationship publicly. I mean, like, okay, cool. Now, what I think is more of a believable display of relationship is that by October 2020, they both decide to dress up as Shark Boy and Lovergirl for Halloween. However, at the same time, Olivia's best friend posts a story and she covers Joshua's face in the post. And I don't mean like slightly covers, I mean like she lets everyone breathe, and she just all over Joshua's face. In January 2021, everything explodes. On January the 8th, 2021, Olivia Rodrigo releases what went on to being the biggest selling single of 2021. Miss Rodrigo releases Driver's License. Immediately when this song is released, the internet immediately connects the dots. The song becomes the biggest hit overnight. It dominates the global charts and turns Olivia from a Disney star into a mainstream pop phenomenon. The fact that this song was the highest selling single of 2021, I do think it outranks Seven Things a little bit, because when we think about Gen Z and like the go-to breakup songs of Gen Z, I'm so sorry, Driving License is going to be in there. Like, it's going to be in there, and you're going to look at me and be like, okay, but is Seven Things not the go-to songs of the 2000s? No. It's not. Like, it's not. Like, if you love music and you love 2000s music, it's just not. It is probably the or top 3 of the biggest breakup songs of the 2000s, but Driver's License is objectively the breakup anthem of the 2020s decade. It's shown in the fact that it was the biggest selling single of 2021, as in she outstreamed every other artist that released in 2021 with a song about a Disney breakup, launching Olivia Rodrigo to be the voice of the Gen Z generation. Just days before the release, Joshua had announced his own song, Lie Lie Lie, though it was released a little later. Olivia even likes the announcement post, which complicates the idea that everything is hostile or intentional. Joshua actually had the song ready and done before Driving License was released. He had just chosen to release it after Driving License. So obviously, when he releases it, fans see it as a response to Driving License, but it actually wasn't. It actually existed pre-Driving License release. However, when the internet has an idea, do they fact check it? No. So everyone ran with the fact that Lie 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 was a response to Olivia Rodrigo's Driving License. Then, on January 22nd, Sabrina releases Skin, and unlike early Disney generations, this response is immediate. No waiting, no press cycle, no distance. What follows is very intense. Joshua receives extreme backlash, and Sabrina is heavily criticised and framed as the villain in a story that she never publicly told. Joshua later reveals that he was hospitalised during this period. You could not avoid this story of the driving licence. It was off the back of COVID, so everyone was inside and like everyone was chronically online on their phone. And the fact this was a very easily consumable story that led to a great song at the end of it, and I think that's a really key difference here, is that Driving License could have been a terrible song and then this could have all been like a very quick internet spike and go away. Yes, this incident exposed the song to everybody and to a wider audience and probably increased the discovery by tenfold, but the important thing here was that the song was good enough to create a lasting impact, and that's what makes this love triangle fundamentally different to the ones before. Instead of fading away, it produced careers. Olivia released Sour later on, and this is still one of the most critically acclaimed album of the 2020s. Both women emerge out of this love triangle more successful, more respected, and fully separated from the Disney ecosystem that they once was in. It launched 2 pop stars entirely into new ecosystems, with music that completely defines the decades they come up in. The love triangle story is shorter, and I think that's because of 3 main things. 1, the internet established the story faster and clearer. Unlike Miley vs Selena, speculation is now a lost art with the internet. People decided Driving License was about Joshua, and that was really it. There needn't be people arguing if it was true or not. It was kind of, it's true, so here are my opinions. 2, everyone in the love triangle knew how the game was played thanks to previous generations. Everyone already had a record contract. Everyone knew The Ceiling wasn't a #1 kid album, but a Grammy, a VMA, a #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100s, and that's exactly what they aimed for. And 3, at this point, social media is fully established, so everyone had their own distribution channels like Instagram or Twitter, in which they could create a breeding ground for the story to grow bigger. All the people in the world who cared about this drama could meet up and discuss in each of the stars' comment sections. What makes this one special is that Sabrina and Olivia went on to make generational defining albums. Not just singles, not just moments, albums. For Olivia and Sabrina to be nominated in the big Grammy categories before the ages of 25 is absolutely insane. Again, no one can come for Selena's discography to me, because in the end of the day, if you play A Year Without Rain, I'm crying. If you play Round and Round, I'm voguing. Same with Miley. I mean, do I even need to mention the iconic tracks that Miley has given us throughout the decades? I actually think The Climb is like peak songwriting, peak melody making, just peak everything, whilst also being under 25 without social media and streaming. So it's kind of hard to compare because they're completely different ecosystems. So let's talk about Generation 4. Oh my gosh, child. The craziest thing about the Disney Channel stars today is that they will literally be on TikTok doing thirst traps. Like, doing this research, I was kind of typing up each person's name into TikTok, and like each of their TikToks have like 600k likes, 1 million likes. Like, they're basically giving like TikTok star numbers. If you don't believe me, just go on their TikTok, go on their Instagram, and you'll be like, wow, you guys are famous. So this love triangle exists in a very different ecosystem. Now Disney is very much franchise-led, streaming first, high visibility across Disney Plus, TikTok, and live touring. Before you compare and decide that our generation is better than the next generation, let's just give them a shot, okay? Here enters Malachi Barton.
What's up? It's Malachi Barton from Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires, and we have a lot to talk about.
He was casted as Victor, a vampire character in Zombies 4. Malachi has very much been positioned as the next generation it boy. So it's hard to equate him, but long story short, he is Zac Efron in the sense that he is being shoved in the big DCOM franchises. But he's also kind of like the guy Jason Dooley, who was in Corey in the House, Minutemen, Hatching Pete, Good Luck Charlie. Like, he's basically hopped around in Disney shows and movies, kind of like Selena was in the early days and Jason Dooley has been in his career with Disney. They just really want to make him stick. Here come our Miley, or Hilary you may say, with Kylie Cantrell.
What's up? I'm Kylie Cantrell from Gabby Duran and the Unsuitables, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Born on June 25th, 2005 in Los Angeles, Kylie Cantrell began her YouTube career under Hello Kylie.
Hi guys, I'm Kylie. I love Disney Channel. If you love Disney Channel, you would definitely like Shake It Up, right?
And she was generally very big on YouTube.
What you know about this? What you know, Kylie? Jordan Jones.
Part of kind of like the well-known LA-based child creators, child dancers communities, and essentially Disney just saw a rising star in her and they kind of just picked her up and adopted her as their own. She was casted as Red, daughter of Queen of Hearts in Rise of the Red. This is so hard to place descendants because out of descendants came Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, and our king Cameron Boyce. Kylie is basically being seen as like the next Olivia. Olivia's here, and then on top of Olivia, I would say it's like Sophia Carson. Then on top of Sophia Carson is like Selena Gomez. On top of Selena is like Hilary or Lindsey. Kylie Cantrell was cast as Red, daughter of the Queen of the Hearts in The Rise of the Red. This was going to be the 4th Descendants movie. 4th or 3rd, I'm pretty sure 4th. She also had a recurring role on High School Musical, the series. So you can kind of see kind of how they did it with Selena. They're kind of throwing Kylie in different places and they kind of just want to ensure that her visibility is consistent to Disney. So much so, she's become the central face of the new Descendants franchise. What is Zombies and Descendants, you may ask? Okay, buckle up. Descendants. The first 3 films alone have amassed 781 million hours of viewing in just the US. Massive for a TV franchise. The most relevant information is that Zombies and Descendants are both on their 4th/5th film. The Descendants and Zombies went on a collab tour last year on the Descendants/Zombies Collide Tour. They were able to sell out 2 sold-out nights in Madison Square Garden. This tour lasted for approximately 2 months and had 43 shows across the United States and featured 30 songs from both franchises. Malia Barker. Now, Malia is very much a next up-and-coming star. She's not so much on the level of Kylie, but she's definitely being pushed there. Most notably, Kylie and Malia position themselves as best friends, and we can see that in the fact that they're both going to be the star of the 2026 Descendants 5. So they're going to be co-starring with each other. So here's the tea, and it's very short tea. Malachi and Kylie were reportedly dating while touring together on the Descendants/Zombies Collide Tour. After the tour ends, Malachi is then spotted with Malia, who had previously been close with Kylie, and just like that, the triangle forms. No official statements, no interviews, just sightings, lights, and fans putting the story together themselves.
Besties in real life?
And that is honestly how drama plays out in this era. Instead of lyrics or award shows, everything unfolds via TikTok clips, Instagram likes, fan speculation, and timeline threads. So Kylie never made a public statement, but she may as well have, because she has basically indirected this instance and many times on her social media platforms and has been liking comments pertaining to this love triangle. Again, these are stars respectably big in their generation. Like, I'm not even gonna, like, we're not gonna sit here and be like, who are these people? They're nothing. No, because again, if you look at their TikTok views, they're getting more views than some of our faves on TikTok. Like, they're definitely a digital TikTok first generation. The problem is we don't live in a monoculture anymore. So even though Kylie and Malachi and Malia are getting 500, 600k, 1,000 likes per post on TikTok and on Instagram, we don't have any idea who they are, and we don't have a reason to learn, because in the end of the day, it's drama contained into their own ecosystem space. Love triangles no longer launch global stars. They circulate within their fandom. Without music, interviews, or major media moments to carry the story forward, the impact stays contained. So in the context of this video, the Malachi, Kylie, and Malia triangle is fine. It's visible, it's discussed, and more importantly, it matters to its audience. But when ranking Disney love triangles by longevity, music output, career impact, and cultural memory, this one is definitely gonna have to sit at the bottom. Not because it's irrelevant, but because it hasn't crossed over. What I wanted to get across in this video is that every Disney love triangle represents the time that it existed in. The success of these love triangles is based on how we consumed culture at the time. Generation 1, Hilary Duff, Lindsey Lohan, and Aaron Carter gave us the blueprint. Tabloids, premieres, late night jokes. It felt huge because at the time media was centralized, but it didn't reshape careers or produce lasting musical legacy. It was iconic in the moment, but it had limited long-term impact. Generation 2, Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, and Nick Jonas took that blueprint and turned it into something generational. I would argue that Disney successfully launched Selena and Miley and did a lot of heavy hitting behind the scenes to ensure the girls' talents were recognized. However, for Sabrina and Olivia, they low-key did it themselves by a large amount. Disney gave them the platform, but they built the ladder. In terms of longevity, output, impact, I'm gonna say something crazy and say Generation 3 actually beats Generation 2. And I'm not gonna ignore Generation 4 because Malachi, Kylie and Malia's situation does exist, but as we've seen, it just doesn't compare. I will give grace, however, though, the stars are younger, the fame is more contained, and it hasn't broken into general public culture in the same way yet. So, for my final ranking, if we go love triangles alone, I think the number one most iconic Disney Channel love triangle is Olivia vs Sabrina and Joshua. Yes, this love triangle was short, and yes, it was very high school, but realistically, they were all very high school. The fact that this love triangle launched careers, Sabrina and Olivia took home heavy-hitting Grammy category wins against people who had been in the industry for 10, 20 years more than them. I think it's insane. I honestly think it's insane. I think if we're going to base it on cultural impact, longevity, iconicness, like Driving License is going to go down in pop culture history. Espresso, I know that's nothing to do with the love triangle, it's going to go down in pop culture history. And if we were to add in, I've never seen Disney stars leave Disney in such a way that, like, oh my god, overnight Olivia was no longer a Disney darling. She became a teen sensation overnight. Sabrina comes out with hands down what will be the most iconic 2020s summer album ever, with Short and Sweet, which went on and swept awards. Olivia gave us a generational defining breakup album that I think became the voice of many young Gen Zs, and I truly think that love triangle went on to launch the stars of tomorrow. I don't know, Olivia and Sabrina and Joshua kind of take the cake. You know what?